All right, it is mailbag time. You asked, we're going to try to answer. All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus, and it's mailbag time. We asked for some questions. As always, you guys came through, and Lupagus, we got some barn burners.
They came through?
They did. They came through, and before we hop into these, I bet we got about 7 good questions here before we get into that. Remember, subscribe to the channel, like the video here every damn day, talking Minnesota Vikings. So get on that. Let's get this 5,500 subscribers.
Let's get to 6,500.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Buckled up?
Yeah, I'm ready. Put a stamp on it. Send me that letter right now.
All right. First question. Since we're most likely moving to a 3-4 defense, how do you see our current players lining up? How will this impact our draft? Kind of a 2-for-1 here.
You know, it's interesting because it's all about the front 7. And who do you have? Who can be edge rushers? Who can be the base DNs? Who is the nose tackle? I look at this. I look at 3 options. Who could be the nose? You got Tomlinson, Pierce, Armon Watts. I think Armon Watts could play a 5-tech. I don't know which one of those guys is best suited for the nose tackle, or if one of those guys is a pure nose tackle. I also look to the draft, pick 12. You look at Jordan Davis from Georgia, a guy who would make a lot of sense there. That's my biggest concern. Edge rushers. I think Dino Hunter, I think he can rush stand up. I think he'll be fine. Move him around a little bit. I like that. And I also think DJ Wadham would probably be even better. Just let him stand up and just go get the quarterback. So those are kind of the guys I envision at those positions. In the middle, is Eric Kendricks going to be there? I don't know. So that's kind of the question. Troy Dye, he's the one guy who doesn't fit any defense for me.
Well, I think this is a fantastic question, a question that nobody really knows the answer to. Daniil Hunter, for what he's getting paid, for what he's done in a 4-3 in the past, I mean, does he still fit the mold? He's already been a guy that everybody's kind of wondering, are they going to trade him or is he going to stay here, whatever. Eric Kendricks, I think, is still the perfect piece to have in the middle. DJ Wadham, I could absolutely see them bumping him back. But the big question for me is those defensive tackles. I mean, we got Pierce. I think Pierce is gone. I don't see how he comes back. I think they think of a way to get rid of him. Tomlinson, I could see maybe being that big old piece in the middle of that 3-4. We will see, but great question. How this impacts the draft. I think the way this impacts the draft is they actually go after some of these edge rushers that we've never really gone after in the past because they haven't fit our 4-3. So it's going to be interesting. I love the thought of getting some guy that can just go after the quarterback. My guy, and I want him bad.
I don't know who your guy is.
Boy, hey, Minnesota Gophers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Well, I was thinking round 1. Yeah, I mean, you got Jermaine Johnson, David Ojabo. There's all kinds of guys you could throw in that mix. And it makes you wonder is Anthony Barr come back and play the outside linebacker?
He's not coming back.
Okay. I didn't think so, but that was worth asking.
No, I think we knew this defense was going to get blown up, but I think the fact if they bring in a Mike Pettin and they go for a 3-4, it's going to get blown up even more.
Well, it has to, because you got to fit. What personnel do you have? Are they going to make sense? I mean, it's
a lot of money at those defensive tackles, and they're going to have to fix that.
Yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. I'm going to see if Pettin even comes here, if he is actually the one that is the D coordinator, and they do change to a 3-4. So it'll be exciting. It'll be interesting to see. But we can't really answer this really honestly until we know that change is happening.
All right, next up, who will Kevin O'Connell bring in as his offensive coordinator? And should we bring in same question for defensive coordinator? Who will he bring in for defense coordinator? And I think Mike Pettin is the front runner right now. I think in a perfect world, we've mentioned Vic Fangio as well. But something tells me it's going to be Mike Pettin. So
Perfect World, that's a great movie with Kevin Costner.
It is a good movie. The Ghost Casper costume he steals, unfortunately, but very, very good movie. Perfect World. Go check it out. Amazon.
You should. It's really good.
I mean,
really
you got anything else to add on defensive coordinator? Or should we just go to offense?
It sounds like it's Pettin. I don't know. I haven't heard any of their names. I'd love Fangio. Honestly, personally, that would be my number one choice. But
Fangio also runs a 3-4.
Which is fine, but the guy's he's been very successful everywhere he's gone. His defense has always been top notch. So to me, Fangio number one, Pettin, whatever, fine. I'm fine with him too. But I don't have Fangio, but
Well,
no other names have been floated around really.
And in the comments, we're getting a lot of hate. I mean, nobody wants Mike Pettin here, but when you look at it, what are our options? I mean, it's not like there's just a handful of guys that are just waiting to come in here that are very proven. I mean, we got to be realistic here.
And why do they hate him so much? I mean, he's had success in New York.
I think it's more of the Packers.
Well, he brought the Packers from 29 to 15, and they were right up, right the same the next year. I mean, he's ran good defenses. He's improved where he's gone. So it won't take a whole hell of a lot to improve this defense. And even if you're middle of the road, late 20s in rankings, that's a huge improvement from what we've seen in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think the issue with Mike Pettin is just that he failed as a coach with the Browns, which anybody would do. He was with the Packers, and he had him decent but not great. So I'm actually on board with Mike Pettin. I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. I'm
fine with it. I'm not excited. I'm not upset. It's right in the middle. It's a vanilla yogurt.
Well, I mean, he brings that part that we wanted, that head coaching experience to help young Kevin O'Connell.
This guy. Forget it. I can't show him. I failed.
Yeah. I saw something flashing there. It didn't quite work.
All right.
Spit on it.
Offense coordinator.
Well, I mean, you hear Wade Phillips' kid, Wes, maybe being an option. Wes Phillips. Not a lot of experience there, but I really, truly think this is Kevin O'Connell's offense. He'll be calling the plays. I don't think the offensive coordinator is really that big of a deal. So if he wants to promote somebody into that position, that's fine. But let's not kid ourselves. This will be Kevin O'Connell's offense, and I guarantee you he'll be standing there on game day with the big old freaking plastic sheet in front of his face.
Wow. Yeah, I'm 100% on board with you. I don't really care who it is. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I should say I don't think they need to bring in this proven guy that's been around the league forever. More so what they need to do on the defense side of the ball. Whoever he brings in is just going to be the start of the Kevin O'Connell tree, as we say. So if it's if it's some guy from the Rams right now, like you said, so be it. It doesn't really matter. He's going to be running the show.
Would you call him a sapling?
Call him a little drippling of sapling.
That's a long title.
Dripplings of saplings. Kevin O'Connell's running this offense. He could bring in Lupagus tomorrow, and it's really not going to matter.
I have a proven track record.
Proven track record. Next question. If some team calls and wants Dalvin Cook, what the hell do the Vikings ask for him?
I don't know. This is a question that I struggle with because here's the thing that I keep coming back to. So you always want this type of running back, right? You want a dynamic, game-changing running back. That's what you want every year in the draft. You hope you can get him if you need that position. And it seems like when we get this guy, we just want to immediately trade him. Like Adrian Peterson, we had him. Everybody's like, oh, we should trade Peterson. You got Dalvin Cook. Let's trade him. I don't know. I struggle with this because let's appreciate what we have. Dalvin Cook is a special and rare talent. He can change games. I mean, that guy can take a play, it can be 21-0 like it was against the Packers a couple years ago. All of a sudden, he busts one off for 90 yards, gets us back in the game. He's got that kind of breakaway talent, that kind of explosiveness, that kind of home run hitting ability. It's rare to find that. So to me, this is tough because, yes, you can find a serviceable running back in the mid-rounds who can get the job done, but they don't bring that special ability that Dalvin Cook has. And this is where I have a hard time putting a value on this.
Yeah, it's tough to put value on a very good running back, but unfortunately in the NFL these days, very good running backs don't mean jack shit. I mean, look at the Rams. They got Cam Akers, they got Sony Michel, they got Darrell Henderson. I mean, they have a ton of people that make not much money. And Dalvin Cook is going to be a $9.3 million cap hit, and he's going to be 27 years old. And we've seen it with Adrian Peterson. We've seen it with Dalvin Cook. It's great. I love having a good running back, but they have brought us nothing. So I love Dalvin Cook. I'm not saying they're going to trade him by any means, but if we had an offer, I'd pretty much take anything we could get for him.
No,
He's brought us nothing.
I would take, to me, it would take multiple day 2 picks at worst.
At worst?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look at the top paid running backs in the league. They're on the worst teams, and it's for a reason. I'm all for bringing in running backs every couple of years in the drafts in the round 3, round 4, and just keep swapping them out. Love Dalvin. but it's not bringing us anything.
Well, I mean, look at the Rams. You brought up the Rams, and they're a pass first team. They got Cooper Kupp, and they got Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, that's a team that's going to throw the ball first and foremost. So the running game is secondary there.
Well, a lot of the teams that are playing are pass first. I mean, look at the Bengals.
And that's I'm just saying they're pass first teams. That's fine. I mean, the Bengals got Joe Mixon. He's a pretty damn good back. You trade him, you're going to get pretty good value for him. I don't know. I just think Dalvin Cook is special. So to me, I'm going to try to hold out for the best damn deal I can get, and I wouldn't take less than like a second round this year and then maybe a third round next year, something like that. It's got to be 2 picks at least. I would settle for some future value down the road, but I wouldn't take less than that. And if I can't get that, then I'm going to keep them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty far-fetched anyways. I don't think teams would actually offer that. So I think a lot of the other teams in the NFL realize they don't need a running back that makes $10 million a year. If we were to be able to get a third-round pick, I would probably be all over. It's probably not a very popular opinion, but I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see a lot of running backs traded really these days.
Tony Michel went for like a 7th-round pick. I mean, holy shit. All right, next up, trade one player besides Danielle Hunter and Kuzo. Kuzo? What the hell's Kuzo?
Was that the movie about the dog that ate people?
Cujo. All right, let's just put it this way. Trade one player on this team that's not Danielle Hunter.
I'm going to trade Adam Thielen. And I'm going to hope for a second I'll sell for a third or fourth.
Yeah, I would Kuzo. I'm still trying to figure out who Kuzo is. Maybe they meant Cook.
Nah, I think they meant Kuzo.
I'm going with Kuzo. Yeah, I had the same answer anyways. Adam Thielen. Big contract, old. He's going to be 34 years old. Love him. I love the fact that he's with Jefferson. But if you could get 4th-round pick, I don't know. What's going on?
You just look really wet there. I'm trying to make it go away.
Thank you. Everyone was very grossed out.
I'm sure they were. I was.
There's not a ton of people on this team that you can actually trade. Danielle Hunter is obviously one that sticks out. Eric Kendricks, come on, they're not going to trade Eric Kendricks. Harrison Smith, they're not going to trade him.
Well, I mean, these older guys, it has to be to a contender.
I bet it meant Cousins. They meant Cousins.
Well, and that's fine. If it's one of these old guys, Thielen or Smith, it's got to be a contender who's ready to go and needs one piece, a veteran piece to get them over the hump. That's the thing. And I don't know how much you get in return for these guys, but we'll see how much Kwesi wants to shed this cap hit and trim this roster and the money that they're paying out. But we'll see. But to me, Thielen makes the most sense because he's still playing at a high level.
Thielen sticks out and gets some decent.
You see, he's 34. Is he only like 31?
I thought he turned. Maybe I'm thinking of Harrison Smith.
Yeah, he's not 34. No way, Thielen's 34.
Maybe he'll be 32 next year. He'll be 32. I'm embarrassed and I'm apologetic. That's still damn old for a wide receiver.
37 years away from 69.
We got 2 more questions. Next up, out of you and I, who is more likely to pick their nose when nobody is looking?
That's seriously a question?
It is. We got to answer it.
That's me. I do it all the time. All the time.
I put a little more thought in this than I should have. I think it's actually me because I don't think you care if anybody sees you pick your nose. So I would try to be a little more sneaky about it, but you would just pick your nose.
Depends where I'm at. I mean, at work, I'm like sneaky about it, but
yeah, I'm going with me on that one. Last up, final. If Malik Willis, who's had one hell of a Senior Bowl practice, had a good game today, if he is there at 12, we take him.
You want to start? Or you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Man, this is a tough one. Malik Willis, very high risk, very high reward. This guy could end up being fantastic, and he could end up being dog shit. But the way I see it is Kevin O'Connell is going to want his own young quarterback. I think even if Kirk Cousins is brought back, they can't get rid of him. They can't trade him, even if they try as hard as they want. I think he's still, if a quarterback is on the board in round 1 that he wants, he's going to take him knowing that he has the leeway to have a couple shitty years. So I think if Malik Willis is there, I think they actually would take him. And that's saying even if Kirk Cousins is still on the roster, I still think they take him. So I say yes. I say absolutely. And I pull my pants down when they make that pick.
Yeah, I do too. I would definitely take Malik Willis. I'll be 100% on board with that decision. You just see what he did today. I mean, yeah, He didn't throw a lot of balls, but the way he can pull that ball down, take off and run, that's what we've been missing. That's what we've been wanting for so many years here in Minnesota. A quarterback who can make stuff happen on the ground, be creative, take off. I mean, you can't. The defenses can never settle down. You just don't know who to defend. It's such a dangerous weapon to have a quarterback who can run. And Malik Willis showed that today in the Senior Bowl. So yes, I would take him at 12. I would be nude when that pick is made, slapping chest with whoever's around. It doesn't matter. I would run down Highway 2 screaming if we get Malik Willis, because I think he has the upside to be the next great quarterback. I really think he is. He's got a rocket arm. He can take off and run. He needs some maybe just some mechanical work. Get used to a quarterback guru like Kevin O'Connell. Maybe can whisper him into something great. So I think the upside is just through the roof. You got to take it. You got to go that. We've been making this youth movement with the GM, with the head coach. Let's do it with the quarterback. Take him. You got to take him. You can't not take him.
It's going to be interesting. Even if Malik Willis is off the board at pick 12, if he's got a quarterback in mind, I still think really there's other quarterbacks that could be on the board at 12, because O'Connell, is he going to want to wait another year? I mean, maybe if he knows he's got Cousins at least for one more year, gives him a little leeway, but it's going to be interesting. Draft day, we've said it multiple times. Draft day is going to be a freaking mystery. Robert Stack, come on in.
That's what worries me. I mean, I feel, I mean, it's easy for a new regime wants to come in, they want their guy. And I just hope they don't like identify their guy, then enforce it at 12, where that guy could be, let's say they want Pickett or they want Willis, they're both gone. And then your next guy is like Carson Strong or something. Or Sam Howell. Howell. And you're nervous that you're not going to be able to give it around 2 and you force it at 12. That to me is a mistake. That to me is where it gets very sketchy. But I think what you brought up, the new regime, they're going to want their guy, and they got to identify who that is. And I just hope to God they don't force it, because that would just suck.
It would suck, but if Malik Willis is there, they're taking him. Damn it, Vikings would go wild. Those are our mailbag. Our mailbag is empty. That is it. Thanks for everybody who shot in their questions. Remember, subscribe, like the videos, here every damn day. We'll be back tomorrow.
Speaking of shot in their questions, here's a fact that goes right along those lines. The fastest speed of ejaculation ever recorded was 42.7 miles per hour.